Okay. For those of you that don't know me, I am ES Virgo. Um, I do a whole bunch of streaming content on Twitch, and I usually post my VODs here to my YouTube channel, which is where you found this video, obviously. Whether it be a recommended video to you or you just found it on your own, that's completely fine. Um, I'm gonna get straight to the point. Currently, this is a new form of media that I'm trying to do. I haven't done anything like this before, so it's gonna be a little iffy. It's my first time ever doing something like this or similar to this. So it'll be a little rough. So just hold out for me. Hopefully you watch the whole video, and hopefully you enjoy this type of content. And if you do, I'll make more. Um, I actually plan on making more content about this topic or that we're going to cover today. I'm going to be doing a news coverage. Um, as of recently, every single YouTuber I kind of see that does news or does political news, they're all covering the Charlie Kirk assassination. Um, I'm not really big into politics, so I don't really cover that. I'm not going to cover that today. You can obviously go find someone else to cover that. Um, Me, on the other hand, I'm really big into music and I really love music. And I just enjoy it as a whole. Um, so for those of you that don't know, um, this is David. David here is a musician. His real name is David Anthony Burke. Um, and if you've been paying attention to any news that's related to David, uh, you would notice that this is a headline that has been going around recently. As you can see, there's plenty of news stories here. I have stuff saved over on the side. I've been compiling this as of recently because I didn't know more news of the story came out. I originally got notified about it when the very first um, images on Twitter and Instagram linked of a dead body found in Tesla registered to uh, singer David. Um, we recently have found, or recently, as in as the time that I'm recording this, as of yesterday, have a confirmed name for the body found in David's uh, Tesla, or the vehicle registered, or I guess the Tesla registered to David. Um, if you, there'll be pictures later. I go over here. It is. Oh, sorry, I should have made sure everything was loaded properly beforehand. Um, it is this person. It is Celeste Rivas. She was 15 years old. Her full name is. Oh, sorry. Her full name is Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Um, she is 15-year-old. Um, this is what she looks like, or was last looked like, I assume. The police officers did notice that did state that her body was decomposed beyond recognition. Um, so that is something that was unfortunately the case. Um, Obviously, there's several news stories that cover this. I'm just, kind of going through this. Um, several things that go over this, several things that kind of corroborate. This is just a video that's playing. It was about the case earlier. I've had these tabs open for a little bit, so um, but yeah, for the most part, we were getting more information as we know it. And obviously, as some of the stuff you can read here, there's also been speculation from the fans, which I will go over here. Oop, my bad. You weren't supposed to see that yet. Um, Fans that have also been going into it, um, and kind of giving their opinion on Instagram, over on Twitter. There have been Reddit threads that have been about it. It's been a whole deal. There's been several things that have come to light and have been, brought back and forth. This is a video here of Twitch. Being streamed on Twitch. We'll just make that real quick. On Twitch, where you can see what we're assuming as this girl here to be Celeste Rivera Rivas. I'm sorry, I'm butchering her name. Rivera Hernandez or Rivas. I believe it's Rivas. So we have it is Rivas. I don't know why I put Rivera in my notes. So there's been several things that have been confirmed that have been brought into the case. One of the main things is what she was wearing when she was found, which was a tube top, a black tube top, as more descriptions have come out, black leggings, a yellow bracelet with similar yellow studded earrings, and that she was wrapped in plastic. And they did find that because it's the Tesla, it does have a frunk. She was placed in the frunk of the car or of the vehicle. This was her missing persons report that was filed by her mother, who we have recently, or not recently, but there has been information that's come out that her mother was not a major part of her life, and wasn't really all there for her. So she's not a prominent figure in her life. The last time her mother saw her was on May 4th, or April 4th of 2024, when she was 13. So that is the other thing that have come to light. As of the current age matchup, she is 15. She would have been 15 this year. She possibly did turn 15 before she was murdered. And was discovered, but she would have been 15 this year, and David is 20 years old. He was born in 2005. So obviously you can kind of put two and two together that big age gap equals David a pedophile. There are other things that have been posted on Instagram and other things. Another rendition, obviously, here to the Charlie Kirk murder or assassination, as some will say, between his killer Tyler Robinson and the supposed boyfriend. I might make a video about everything so far about Charlie Kirk. I might not. It really just depends. On I feel like if it's prominent news that should be shared, that isn't already being shared by someone else, and something that I can put my voice into and be meaningful. But yeah, for the most part, we have had a lot of information. Obviously, several of these news stuff reiterate information, and even here, this is a confirmed thing. There is an unreleased track. It is this. I personally really enjoyed David as an artist. I loved his work. Honestly, it was there for me on sometimes and days that I felt like it couldn't. So it was nice knowing that he was there. And I guess just I don't really know. It's difficult for me, honestly. Like I do love his music, and I when I heard this, I didn't know how to feel about it. It was a whole thing. Um but this is the unreleased Celeste song that was public, or not. I'm dumb. That was unreleased. And he had talked about it sometimes, but here is the bridge after verse 2 that literally says, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest." Many people have said if it is Celeste, obviously they've ID'd Celeste, but is it the same Celeste as the person that David is talking about? If so, there should be a tattoo on her chest, or it's also possible that her body was being wrapped in plastic in a trunk was far too decomposed um, to identify. This is a little bit more. There's also a tattoo that both of them share. Supposedly, not supposedly. I guess this is all news. This is all info. On their right index fingers. But I will add that this is also a tattoo that is shared with other entertainment icons. It is not just shared between Celeste Rivas and David. It is a tattoo that other entertainment icons do have. It was also known that David is cooperating with the police. And unfortunately, this did cause his second show in Seattle to be canceled. And for those saying that there's no, like, I know there's a lot of people saying that, like, David did it, he put it in the trunk or in the frunk, and it was him. I'll quickly just go to my notes. So he is on his new album. He was on his new album World Tour, the Withered World Tour, or album tour. And, you know, with everything that had been found, the vehicle was found in a Hollywood tow lot. Here, yeah. It was found in a Hollywood tow lot, and due to the conditions, I did Google earlier to get this information. The average body under regular conditions, that means if it's taken care of, like if it's not taken care of, it's just left out. According to police and what they've given us so far, the point of decay, I guess the state of decay found with Celeste, it would have taken about 3 weeks to reach that state of decay, but because she was wrapped in plastic and placed in a trunk in California, which is known to be a hot state of the United States, the decay rate did increase. So it was probably 9 to 13, maybe 2 weeks, possibly 3, similar to 3 weeks, but to reach that form of decay. And this is just the report by iHeartRadio of kind of their news thing, where they kind of reiterated some of the stuff, and obviously this is where we get these cooperating police, where she went missing from, which was like Elsinore, California. I don't know where that is. And that her mom and her daughters just that when they went to go ask the mother of Celeste, that the mother said that her daughter did match the details provided by police. But then again, the mother was not a major part of Celeste Rivas' life, as some of the information that we have been shown. It has also been shown. I don't have it pulled up. I probably should have better well prepared for this because it is my first news thing. That she was actually staying with her sister, and her sister was pimping her out. That is not fully confirmed. That is just a rumor. It is not something we know for sure. It is just a suspicion that we have. We also don't know the reason why David would go to such lengths to murder Celeste. We have no idea. Really, we don't know why. There have been videos with him giving out money. There have been suspicion that it was to silence people about Celeste's age, being the fact that she's so much younger. These are just some more news stories I'm just going through as you can look through them. And like it honestly is terrible. I hope that I do hope that the truth gets found out. I hope that if it was David, even though I do love his music and I think he's a great musician, he does deserve to suffer the consequences of his actions if it was him. Justice needs to be brought to whoever did kill Celeste, because even though the mother was not involved, a mother did lose her daughter, and that's a terrible thing. So hopefully all the information comes out. As more information comes out, I'll maybe post more of what I find. We'll just quickly go back to the social media aspect. This is another thing, is that there were posts on Celeste's birthday, which is September 7th. That was her birthday. And people have linked that Romantic Homicide was released on September 7th of 2022. It is also said that David started talking to Celeste via Discord back when she was 11 to 12ish. So that would put around the time around her Romantic Homicide, but that would not line up with any of the murder. I don't know why people are linking that song to this, or saying that it has any relative connection. Obviously, there's people that are posting memes. There's this stuff here that people are doing videos. I don't condone that name for David. I don't think the slur is necessary. Obviously, there's people doing whatever they can. This is another thing. There was a YouTube post that I found, or not a YouTube post, an Instagram post that I found with this image. Once again, a lot of the images that are found with David and this other younger female, same with the Twitch clip that I showed earlier from one of the live streams that David did with, I would assume, friends. I did follow David on Twitch, but I don't know much about any of his other any clips and stuff. That the same girl is wearing glasses. Obviously, it's very possible that this picture is older and Celeste could be wearing contacts if she did need to wear glasses, or maybe she didn't know she needed to wear glasses at this time, or if the family didn't know that they needed glasses at this time. That's when this picture would have been taken, and it's most likely an out-of-date picture. So there is that. I guess I could be grasping at straws there, that it might not even be Celeste at all, or Celeste Rivas Hernandez. It could be someone entirely different. But obviously, you can all do your own research and kind of find where you stand on this. It's just, this is kind of all what you need to do, and if you have anything, go ahead and look. Like, I'm sure you can find the information, you can find what you need. I'm sure there's everything. Like, you can find what you need to bring your own opinion to this. I think that see, like, there's this image here. This is a female that matches a young, I would say a young female that matches Celeste's description, unfortunately. But there is enough information out there that you could probably put it together better than I can. So I do want to bring one thing into light, though, is that my opinion on this, I know it's a bit late into the video for this. My opinion is, I don't think David did it. I don't believe David did it, for the main reason that because he's been on tour for the past couple months, he hasn't been at his house. He has said that there was somewhere stated, not stated, but I guess assumed, or maybe a suspicion, that while David was away on tour, that one of his friends or someone he knew was taking care of his vehicles and making sure everything was okay, so they had access to a vehicle. Because as you can see here, this is the latest show that was 2 days ago in Seattle, Washington. This was the first of 2 shows that were going to happen in Seattle. But obviously, from these first couple shows, yes, it makes it out to where David could have definitely done it. Like, the body was discovered around the September 8th. And this would be a day after when he was in Minnesota, then he's in Missouri, and then 2 days later he's in Colorado, and then Seattle, and back, and then into Portland, Oregon, and then into Washington. But if you keep looking, he gets further and further. For the most part, as I look through this, the tour did start on August 1st of 2025. I'll even show that to you, just so if you didn't know about it, like, this is the stuff that is brought up. On August 1st, he started his tour in Phoenix, Arizona. He then continued to 2 shows in California about a month ago. Now, I'm not saying that it's not impossible that he could have done this a month ago and it could have just been there for so long and people didn't notice. Um, and this is when it originally happened, I guess, possibly when he was still close to his home. But then he continued. He goes back to Phoenix, goes over into Texas, and then for the majority of August, as you can see, for an entire month, um, from here up until the um up until I believe the Salt Lake City show, he is on the eastern coast of of the country of the United States. So obviously this it just recently got updated tomorrow or yesterday. This is the canceled show that this was the show that was canceled. Um, so it probably just recently got updated. You can see that in real time. But until this Colorado show, he was on the eastern part of the country. And he was even in Canada for a little bit. So he would have had to go through customs. So, or yeah. So I personally think with that evidence just there, it's very hard to tie David to this. Um, I don't think it's possible that David did it. But here's so my personal opinion. The one that I think is probably the most realistic is that someone else had access to David's vehicle, and they did it, and they killed Celeste and just put her in the front of his vehicle, and had it towed, placed it somewhere that it needed to be towed, or whatever. And that's honestly what I think. That's how it ended up in the Hollywood tow lot. We already know that it had to be towed to get there, um, and that it was only reported due to there was a smell that started to emanate from the car. I don't know which which news organization um, did it. I don't know which one. Like I don't know to lie after it had been reported abandoned in the Hollywood Hills. Okay, so that's even information that I missed. It was abandoned in Hollywood Hills and towed to the Hollywood Hills tow lot. I would assume, but um, there's some stuff here, and obviously you can find your own stuff. I kind of went through and just grabbed what I could, um, and there's a lot. There is a lot. There's a lot of information that you can go through. There's enough to make your own opinion and on investigation on this. I think one of the things that I did notice here is this one. This was posted on September 7th, which would have been which is obviously the birthday of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And this was the tweet that he put with it of just Wither Deluxe, Mac Racine out, September 19th, featuring Malcolm Todd, Teshi, Hyunjin, Julie Wolf, Hannah Bag, and Reels K. Um, Obviously, these are some sketch drawings. If we're going to determine this is David here, obviously on the top right. I don't know who these 2 other figures are, and it is very possible that this last person here, who is wearing a jacket type of thing, I guess. I wonder if we zoom in. Is it control? Yes, it's control. Um, ooh, um, I guess you can't really tell. If we do zoom in here on the jacket, it does look like it says Gap. Right? It starts the words of Gap. It looks like it is a G and an A. I know that's can be very difficult to see. So, but that's what it does look like. It does look like it starts the word Gap across the front of it, and then this is another image where I believe this is the songs on the track. I haven't heard any of them. I honestly haven't. I didn't realize that the album. I don't think the album is out. I think that's probably why I haven't heard any of them, and I haven't been to any of the concerts. There was a concert that was planned that was going to be near me that I was going to go to. But I would assume that this is the group that he mainly has with of this being David, this possibly being Celeste. I'm not entirely sure, and then I don't know who these two people are. Like I said, I haven't been paying attention much with David news. There's not there hasn't been a lot going on ever since that first kind of post of a body found. I hadn't heard anything until a buddy of mine told me that the body was identified and confirmed as this other person, as Celeste Rivas Hernandez, which was just earlier today, or I guess yesterday is when they were talking to me about it. And obviously, you can find more and whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have. That's all the information I gathered. I know there is a big suspicion and of what did happen. If I were to show you my notes, which I will, this is just what I had down in my stuff. This is what I found important. This is what I grabbed out of everything. Obviously, with the lyrics, it could help solve the case. If this lady, or if Celeste is the same Celeste as the song, then there should be a tattoo of David Deems across her chest. Once again, that is if it is still there. That is if it is not beyond the point of decay where it can be recognized. But this is the biggest theory here as to why it happened. I think you can see it very well. So I'll just. Ooh, too much. Too much. There we go. But this is the biggest reason as to what people think happened. Due to the age gap in the relationship, if they were in a relationship, still unconfirmed, we're gonna assume that they were. And they were trying to find the right word. They were had a if they were romantically involved, there is a possibility that because of the age gap of 15 and 20, that Celeste ended up getting pregnant. And if David wanted her to not have the child and she wanted to keep the child, that just out of rage, I guess, or out of anger or out of something, that David did kill her, and that was the case. Um, that is so far the prominent theory that I've been seeing all over the internet. I'm not entirely sure how much truth that holds. But it's possible. But this is all the information I have so far. I plan on getting more and stockpiling it in, and once I get more information, then hopefully I'll post more about it and I'll get it out to you guys. I want to thank you if you did sit here and listen to me rant about this. I know this is something that not many people are thinking about due to the Charlie Kirk assassination and other news stuff, but there is other things happening in the world. And obviously there are people covering Charlie Kirk's assassination / murder, I guess whatever side you fall on to call it that. And there's plenty of people covering that, and I felt that this is something that I haven't seen a lot about, and I don't think there's a lot of people talking about it. And it just felt important to kind of get out there. So if you did enjoy the content, once again, already probably know this by now because it's been roughly 30 minutes. I'm Enos Virgo. This is my first time doing media content of, going through news. I'll try and get better at it as I go. I do stream over on Twitch at ES Virgo on Twitch as well. All of the overlays that you saw for the video are my Twitch overlays that I just haven't changed. All of that stuff is still concurrent. So if you ever see any of that, you can always go to those links or whatever that are there. When I do stream on Twitch, I do take the VODs and I do post them to YouTube. So I hope that this gets to the audience that wants to hear it and wants to watch it. And I thank you for your time. I know that listening to someone rant for 30 minutes that has never done this before is hard, but I do thank you. I believe if I have it all set up, You can't see me pointing because I have recently switched to a model in my old Twitch video or mod or VODs. You would have seen me with a face cam. I recently shifted away from that. I didn't like the face cam all that much, and I decided to drift away from it. But in the top right of your screen, it should be a video that YouTube suggests, or it should be my YouTube page icon that you click on to go to. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while since I posted something on YouTube and watched my own videos. In the bottom left corner, I believe is, or sorry, not a bottom left corner. In the bottom right corner, I believe is a video that YouTube recommends, and the bottom right is a video I recommend. Obviously, I don't do many videos. A lot of it is just Twitch VODs that cancel over. So this will be my first official video on my Twitch channel. I hope you enjoyed, and if you like this content, if it's something that you can get behind, leave a like on the video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon to turn on notifications for when I do post. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful night.